fellow diamond painting addicts, and welcome back to Diamond Painting Anonymous. I'm Daphne, and I am here today for this week's WIP and Chat. If you're new here, welcome. If you're new here, welcome back. WIP, W-I-P, stands for Work in Progress. My work in progress today is Alice in the Sea of Tears, and I will stick a link up to her unboxing over there if you haven't checked her out yet. I am doing this for the Alice in a Winter Wonderland event, which runs through February 14th. And I will put a link in the description below to Life with Lindsay, who is the sponsor of this event. So this is a bigger canvas than I had anticipated, so I want to jump in and get started. I had some other projects I kind of wanted to get off of my plate first. You'll be seeing those soon. But yeah, oh, and I forgot my tray, so I will be right back. Don't go anywhere. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. I forgot my tray, and I love my Bella tray. I think I mentioned in a previous video, I went to go order some more, and they don't make them in this design anymore. They now have a pour spout on the end. Thank you, Jess, for letting me know that you like the new design. We'll see how I feel about it. I'm going to try and order some with their next go round, and we'll see. But I really love these. So these are pretty standard at my diamond painting table. So, okay, I think I have everything ready to go. I did something a little different with Alice. I normally cover my whole canvas with release papers, but because she's so large, I thought, I'm just going to do this a little at a time. So I just have 2 rows of release papers on here. The rest of it still has the cover sheet. And as I finish these 2 rows, I will move the cover sheet, put these 2 rows back on again, and so on until I get finished, because the canvas is just so much bigger than I thought. I was really happy though. My washi tape, usually when I pick washi tape, I'll run out before I get all the way around the canvas, even when I remember to pay attention to, ooh, this is a big canvas, I should pick a big roll. So, but I really like this one, and it's kind of see-through, so I can still see the schematic and stuff, so that's helpful. Not that I need to see the schematic. Most of the time I am working off of the symbols, not the schematic, so that's not that big a deal. And I'm going to set my extra colors that didn't fit in my container. Well, I have too many containers to fit in my Elizabeth Ward tray is the deal. So let me set those off to the side, because I have no idea what colors I'm going to run into, because this will be the first section that I'm doing. I did just kind of by default decide to start at the bottom and work my way up. I don't know if that's going to be how I want to do it when I get done, but that's how I'm doing it. So yeah, I'm just pressing down. Some of my stickers on these little containers don't stay very well, so I'm trying to make sure they all stay on there so I don't lose any of them, because I definitely don't want to get confused about which one I'm doing. Okay, so I'm going to start down here in the bottom right corner. I know a lot of people start on the left side because I'm right-handed, and that way I'm not laying my hand across the drills. That generally doesn't bother me, so I usually start in the right hand and work my way left. I don't know if that's weird, but that's what I do. So that's what I'm going to do this time. So let me move this canvas around a little bit and get things situated so that I can get it someplace that is good for me so I can sit, and also get it someplace good for you so you guys can see. So let me zoom in a little bit, and let me move the camera a tad, move the canvas. Okay. I think that's pretty good, so everybody can see what's going on. I hope anyway. So let me start my timer, because I did remember to bring it in here. And I'm living dangerously, guys. I have a drink in here that doesn't have a lid, so cross my fingers that I don't end up spilling it on something, because clumsy me. I've already knocked over one of my pen holders, so hopefully I got all of that out of the way. Okay. So I'm going to be using 2 pens. This one is from the Fancy French Place. I'm not going to use this one. I don't have it loaded with anything. I am going to use this plastic four placer. I have 4 of these left, I think, and I'm just trying to use them up. And then I have this one, which I think is one I got off of Amazon, and I've got glue dots in my steel barrel and a steel straightener on it. And then, of course, my Bella tray, my Elizabeth Ward storage, which you can't see, but okay. So if I start here in the bottom corner, what am I going to start with? Don't go anywhere, guys. Okay, guys, sorry about that. Never mind. I was going to do some testing with my rulers, but I need to get this WIP and Chat filmed, and I wasn't prepared to do all my rulers and everything, so I'm just going to start. Because, well, I'm doing a bunch of testing with rulers, and I'm not done yet, and I hadn't done a Diamond Art Club yet, but I can always do it later. It's not like the canvas is going anywhere, and I really need to get this WIP and Chat filmed because I'm already running late, and I want to get it done so that I can get it edited and uploaded before, midnight tonight. And it's taking forever because, of course, when I wait until the last minute, YouTube will be a complete jerk, and it will take forever to upload. So moving on. Okay, I did actually make a list of some things that I wanted to talk about today, surprisingly, just because sometimes, during the middle of the week, I'll think about something and I'll be like, oh, I should ask you guys, and then I forget about it when the WIP and Chat comes up. So yeah, I have a list. Okay, so what's the first thing on my list? Let's see, personal updates. Personal updates, I don't really have a whole lot other than I'm still working. We did hire someone at the preschool to replace me, so I now get to start, well, actually they hired 2 someones, so I get to start training them. Not really sure how that's going to work because, I did this job by myself, and now they're going to have 2 people kind of splitting the duties, and nobody's really quite sure how to split them up to make it even. So it's kind of going to be I guess a work in progress, learn as they go kind of thing, which is fine, but just kind of threw me for a loop because I was just expecting them to hire 1 person and they ended up hiring 2. So, I mean, I guess that should make me feel good that they're hiring 2 people to do what I was doing, right? So I get to do that. Other than that, work is going fine. I mean, work's work, right? So it's that thing that cuts into my diamond painting time. But I'm feeling pretty good because I'm working about our financial situation. I am working on all of our paperwork now that we got some of the stuff back that we needed. We had to get photos taken, and now, of course, there's a big, huge stack of paperwork that I have to fill out. And, I did all this with my husband when he moved down here, but I don't know, it just is different this time. When I was doing it, I was the citizen, so I was kind of filling everything out. I kind of knew how everything worked, et cetera, et cetera. And this time, unfortunately, even though he is the citizen, he wants to have nothing to do with all of the paperwork. And it's not that he doesn't want to have anything to do with it. It's just that he's like, you'll do such a better job and blah, blah, blah. And, it'll be legible if you do it. And I mean, yes, he's not wrong, but it sucks that I have to be the one to do it all again. And I know I'm complaining, first world problems, but I don't know, there's just something scarier about it, I guess, since I'm not a citizen and, I'm the one applying this time. So, when he applied, he could kind of leave it up to me, and then if anything went wrong, it's my fault. But this time, if anything goes wrong, it's my fault. And, I keep telling myself, oh, they don't make it super difficult because, the point is not to keep people out. The point is just to make sure that they're not moving there for the wrong reasons, right? So I know I'm building it up in my head more than I should, but it's just scary that I'm going to be the one kind of in charge of everything. But then again, that's kind of how it is around here everywhere, so I don't know what I'm worried about, right? Also, on the personal front, my knee seems to be doing a little bit better. It's not great yet. And I really wish I could just completely stay off of it, because I think if I could do that, then it might actually heal up. Unfortunately, that is not an option. I do have to work. I can't just take time off of work until it finally decides to feel better, with it, being open-ended. And I mean, I probably could, but then I wouldn't have a job to go back to when I was finished. So I don't quite know what to do with it. It's only been a week since she gave me the injection, and she did say it could take up to 2 weeks before I felt any real relief. And it is better. But I think in the back of my mind, I'm also afraid that, when I got the first cortisone shot, it was better, and then it got worse again. So I'm just kind of holding my breath, I guess, kind of waiting to see what's going to happen and all of that. So we'll see. But it is better, so that's good. The meal place, the meal delivery service that my husband and I decided to try, is actually working out okay. It's more expensive than I had hoped. I mean, it's not anything we're going to be able to continue to do long term, but it is interesting. It is nice kind of having some meals that, everything is put together and I don't really have to shop for anything. It's not really saving us any money on groceries like I had anticipated. My husband still shops like we're cooking every meal, with our groceries, which we're not. Now, we're only getting 4 meals a week, but still, we're buying groceries like we're cooking everything from scratch. And we don't eat out a lot. We have an Instapot, which I love and my husband loves. Currently, he's in love with an air fryer. He was using our Instapot. We had a little attachment to it that let you use it like an air fryer. And then he finally decided he wanted to get an actual air fryer. So we used some of our Christmas money, and he got an actual like little double drawer air fryer. So now he can, air fry his chicken nuggets, chicken tenders, whatever, at the same time as he air fries his French fries. And my son uses it a lot for that too. So they love it. But they're still using it to cook meals, so it's like, why we're doing this other thing. Now, the Home Chef, although it's more expensive than I like and it's not really saved us money on groceries like I was hoping, it has been interesting to kind of try some of the recipes. Everything comes kind of bundled together for you. You just open up the package, and I will say they have, packaging everything down to a science. You get every single thing that you need except for like salt and pepper and olive oil, I think, are the only things that you have to supply. Now, there have been several meals that we have left off things. Like we got one last week that was basically teriyaki chicken and rice with green beans. Now, I do not like green beans. Don't like them, have never liked them, will never like them, don't eat them. So when we got it, I told my husband, I said, well, you can buy that one, but I'm not going to eat the green beans. So, and we make chicken and rice all the time, so it was no big deal. And it was good. I liked it. And it was a fairly simple recipe. So my husband and I, kind of noted that down, and we will add it to, we buy chicken and rice anyway. We just needed to get the stuff to make kind of the teriyaki sauce. And add that to our, list of recipes. We got some burgers that were really good. The bun was really good. It was, they were nice burgers. They were nice and thick. They weren't very fatty. They tasted good. And we had home fries with it, which they basically send you 2 potatoes and you have to slice them up and then fry them, which we didn't really fry them. We oven baked them. But for as much as we paid, we could have made that meal ourselves. I mean, there's no reason that we, I think we get into this thing sometimes of like, it wasn't a very adventurous meal, which was one thing. I mean, we should have realized that. So to me, and it was one of their premium meals because of the beef. And so it cost more than some of the others. And I was like, yeah, I don't think we need to waste money on that anymore. Let's try some different ones. This week, we were supposed to get a gnocchi pasta that we were both really looking forward to, as apparently were a whole bunch of other people. And we got an email. Ours get delivered on Wednesday. My husband got an email on Monday saying, oh, unfortunately, due to all the shipping, delivery, supply chain issues, they couldn't get all of the ingredients for that meal that we had ordered, so they were substituting this other meal, which, I get that there are supply chain issues, although some days I wonder if people actually have supply chain issues or they just say they do. I mean, I know there are legitimately people who are having supply chain issues, but I sometimes wonder if other people are just using it as an excuse when it's not really the problem. But anyway, they gave us this other meal, which was another gnocchi meal, but it's a very spicy dish, which my husband will like. I won't. I don't like spicy foods. I don't have the palate for spicy foods. I mean, even if it's just a little bit spicy, it makes my mouth burn and my eyes water. And, I don't know about you, but those are signals. Geez, my lips. Those, are pain signals to my brain that I probably shouldn't be eating whatever it is that's causing, my eyes to water, my nose to run, my mouth to be on fire. I don't enjoy that. I know lots of people do. I am not one of them. So I was kind of super disappointed with that we didn't get the one that we asked for and instead get this other one that I'm really not going to eat because, again, I don't like spicy foods. So, and it's kind of all mixed in together. So I doubt like the spice is in the sauce that goes on the pasta. So, I mean, I can, make some other sauce, but I could have made sauce and pasta without paying the money I'm paying them. So that was disappointing. But we are adding to our, repertoire of meals that we can kind of cook ourselves. My husband is saving the recipe cards for the ones that we like. One of the very first ones we got was salmon. And, I had salmon growing up, mostly from a can because we do not live anywhere close to someplace that you can get real fresh seafood. Around where I live, there really isn't any big body of water. You can get things like catfish and that kind of thing fresh sometimes, but like for any other kind of seafood, most of the time, I mean, you can get it fresh at the grocery store if they're having it flown in or whatever, but I never do. I'm not a big seafood eater anyway. And so we had the salmon just to try it. And while it was okay, I am not a fan of cooking fish. I never know when it's done, and I'm always afraid we're going to undercook it and like give ourselves salmonella or food poisoning or something. So yeah, after that, I told my husband, yeah, I think I'm going to stay away from any more salmon dishes. Just, yeah. And I'm not a big meat eater anyway, so I haven't missed it too much. but we've only done it for 2 weeks. We have our 3rd week of orders in, and then I think we may skip a week, but we'll see. My husband wants to look and see what the recipes are before he decides whether or not he wants to skip a week. In case there's something he really wants, then he'll want to go ahead and order it. So we'll see what happens there. But, other than the disappointment of, not liking some of the foods, which has nothing to do with the quality of it or anything, just as my personal taste. But now I know I don't really like salmon. So, my mom, when I was younger, made salmon cakes from the salmon that comes in a can. That's really had been my only experience. And like I said, I'm not a big seafood eater. And my son, who likes seafood, didn't like it either. So just wasn't our thing. Now it had, I think it was like peanut crusted Thai style salmon or something like that. The peanut crusting on it was good. We both liked that part of it. So if we could do that on chicken or something, maybe then that would be enjoyable. And my husband likes to cook, so it gives him a chance to kind of experiment with some things too, which has been fun. So it's been good. I don't know how much longer we'll do it, but it's been good. So let's see. What else did I want to talk about? That's all kind of personal stuff. The rest of the stuff was kind of diamond painting related. So I am making my way through my Big 10 goal. I finished my TSA, which you guys will see hopefully here shortly. I've got some other videos to film today, and that is one of them, the finish and dekit of that one. And I actually enjoyed it. There were some things about it I didn't enjoy, but for the most part, and it turned out really well, so I'm happy with it. So that is company number 1 down on my Big 10 list. Now, this particular canvas I can also count towards my Big 10 list because Diamond Art Club is on it. This isn't the canvas that I intended to use for that particular thing, but the event came along. I needed to get it out of my stash. So I may still do the other canvas that I had intended to do at some point this year. But for now, I'm going to count this one. So this will be kind of the TSA was my January Big 10 kit. This will be my kind of February one, even though I'm starting it in January, because I won't finish it this month. I don't think. It'd be great if I could, but I don't think I will. One of my other goals was to try out 15 new to me companies. And I'm really excited about the newest company that I didn't even really find. She approached me, and that is Diamond Painting Shop. And I did an unboxing of the kit that she sent to me. So if you haven't seen it, I'll stick it up there in the corner. But it is an Alphonse Mucha. The kit is huge. The painting is huge, but it is so cool. So that's another check mark off of my goals. That's new company number 1. So now I only have 14 left. So that's a goal to check off. And I have also managed to finish a couple of small items in between trying to finish my TSA. I've shared a couple of finishes with you of things that I've unboxed, like the wine cover, wine bottle cover that I did, and some other things. I've got another couple of small finishes to share with you guys. Nothing big, but small canvases, but still, they are finishes. They do count. They're going on my list. So working my way towards that, again, that 10,000 hours, because that's another goal. So I think I added another like 38 or 40 hours with my TSA canvas. So that's good. What am I looking for? I'm looking for this triangle symbol, and I am talking and not looking is my problem. Oh, okay. That's in a very giant container. That's why I couldn't see it. So I did go out today and look and see if I could find another Elizabeth Ward storage system and or tray. I really wanted to just buy the tray. So of course, it's sold out. It's not available just to buy the tray. I did look at buying another full, variety pack, basically. Another tray with the variety of containers in it like I currently have. However, I just don't really want to pay that much for it right now. And I mean, I think it's less expensive than I paid for mine initially. I want to say when I bought mine, it was like 40 some dollars, and it's only like 30 some right now. Do you guys remember? What, it's probably been 6 months or so ago. Everybody was freaking out because there was a rumor going around that Elizabeth Ward was going to go out of business, so you weren't going to be able to get the storage anymore, and everybody was buying them, so you couldn't find them anywhere. So anyway, I just don't know if I want to spend that money right now, so we'll see. And like I said, I really just wanted a tray because I think I have enough other extra containers that I could just do with a tray. And I can't find that either, so it'll just go on my wait list, and that'll be something I do later on down the road. So there's that. And I very hurriedly, I have a couple of companies who've contacted me to do unboxings for them. And I suddenly realized, ooh, I should get my orders in. I was looking on, was it Instagram, I think? No, I think it was Facebook. And I happened to see, oh no, it wasn't. I was on a website. That's where it was. I went to Evermoment, and that's a different story that I'll get to in a minute. But I went to the Evermoment website, and they had a big thing up on their website on the front page that said, if you're going to order anything, get your order in before the 25th, because that's when their New Year celebration starts. And basically everything is going to be closed for 2 weeks. So everything is going to be, a while shipping out and all that kind of stuff. And I thought, ooh, because since everything comes from China, basically in the diamond painting world, I wonder what that's going to be like for, the diamond painting companies. Now, I'm sure they're used to it, and they've, are ahead of the ball game with orders and manufacturing and that whole process. But it snuck up on me this year because I've never really experienced it. For last Chinese New Year, I wasn't really diamond painting all that much. I didn't start this channel until after Chinese New Year last year, so I didn't really experience any of that. So it'll be interesting. And then my husband and I were talking because, of course, the Olympics are in, that one doesn't want to let go. The Olympics are in China this year, and they start, February 3rd, February 4th, something like that, which is going to be in the middle of their 2 weeks shutdown. And I thought, well, okay, how does that work? So do some people get the vacation off? Like, is that the only vacation you get in China? Everybody shuts down for that 2 weeks, and then that's it. You get no vacation the rest of the year? Or, what does that look like? So anyway, I just thought it was interesting. So I got my orders in. I don't know if they'll get shipped out or not before Chinese New Year. I'm not worried about it. They'll get here when they get here, and I'll work on them whenever they do. I order things enough ahead of time that, I'm not worried about it. But if you, are a diamond painting manufacturer and you don't already have, kind of some backlog ready to go, that means you just don't have orders, or they're going to be late getting filled, because that usually irritates people if they don't know that going into it. So the reason that I was looking at Evermoment was because I've heard from a bunch of people that Evermoment is one of the best companies for custom diamond paintings. Now, If you've ever ordered a custom from Evermoment, let me know your thoughts. Are they a really good company for it? Or should I try someplace else? I mean, I know pretty much everybody does a custom, but I want this one to be good. I've never ordered a custom before. And, maybe I shouldn't start with this one, but, it's me, so I'm gonna. So the other thing, as kind of a side note to this, and I just threw the lid to my tweezers somewhere and I don't know where. Okay. I'll look for them after I'm done. As a side note to this, what I'm looking for is well, first of all, I don't know if you've all heard. If you haven't, Jasmine Beckett Griffith has released 625 of her paintings into the public domain. So you can go to her website and you can look at, there's like a list of all the names. If you follow her art enough that you know all the names, then that's probably good for you. I actually went to the download page because there are like little thumbnails of each painting, and they're not great thumbnails, so you can't just steal the thumbnails. They're not very good quality, but you can at least tell what the painting is. And I found it really interesting just to kind of thumb through all of the pages and look at the paintings, because you can tell kind of the progression of her skills as an artist. You can tell, obviously, some of them are earlier paintings than others. So, and her, to kind of see how her style has evolved was interesting to me. So I went through a bunch of them. And, again, I've done one of her paintings, which was Lenore. And while I enjoyed it, I just wasn't in the market to do another one of her paintings because her girls are kind of the chibi style with the very large heads and smaller bodies, which I like. But they're always very pale, white, kind of washed out. And I just don't like a whole bunch of white. I feel like white accentuates gapping, and it just doesn't look good in big swatches. So after I did Lenore, I just kind of avoided doing any of her other ones because of that. And while I like the chibi style, there were just some things about hers that were not my favorite about her style. So in looking through all the pictures she released, most of them I thought, I'm not really interested in doing those. And there are some, lots of them you've already seen as diamond paintings, which brought up another question for me. How does that work if you have licensed, art from her, and then she decides to make it public domain? What does that mean for your license? Does that contract just immediately void because now she's released it into the public domain? Because, essentially that makes it fair game for diamond painting companies, right? Which, her images have been stolen, so it's not like you haven't seen them all kinds of places already anyway. But, my thought was for places like Diamond Art Club or Craftably or, some of those other kind of premier diamond painting companies that license it, did the contract run out? Do they license with like an art licensing house and her contract is with that licensing house? And so, it's her art. She can do what she wants. I completely get that. I just wondered, if that was a kind of a blind side to some of these diamond painting companies, or if they knew it was coming, or, what was going on. Because I know like Craftably was releasing some more of her paintings, and I thought, well, what does that mean for them if they were paying her and now she's released it into the public domain? And so does that mean they don't need to pay her anymore? Does that mean, they still have to pay her, but now other people are going to be able to sell the diamond paintings for less because they're not paying her the licensing fee? I'm just curious. So, inquiring minds. And anyway, in the course of looking through all of these paintings, I found one of hers that I really really like. I'm not going to tell you which one because I want you guys to be surprised when I do the custom and everything. However, I will say that this painting is big enough that I think, or is detailed enough that I think I'm going to have to get a pretty big canvas for it to look good, which is fine. I'm willing to spend the money. I want it to look good. That's more important to me than how much money I spend. But it is going to be my first time ordering a custom. And so I was like, well, you know, so I went to her website. You can request a download and they're free. You basically just enter, you know, some information and they email you a link to the high resolution file so that you can download it to your computer and then you can do what you want with it. So I downloaded the picture that I wanted and I want to send it to Evermoment and ask them to make it into a diamond painting, a custom diamond painting for me. Now, they listed some prices, but I'm curious, is that the price just for the canvas? Does anyone know? Does that include, if I order the custom, do they also include the drills? Or is that a separate fee? Like I said, I've never ordered a custom before, so I'm kind of curious about the process. And also, is there a way to contact them that doesn't require me setting up an account on, what is it, AliExpress? All I could think of was Alibaba, and I knew that was wrong. I really don't want to set up an account on AliExpress, and I intend to just pay through PayPal. But I didn't know if there was, you know, an email address. Whenever I clicked on the contact thing, it wanted me to set up an AliExpress account before it would even let me email them. Like it wouldn't even let me look at what their email address was. So I was curious about that since it wouldn't even let me see their email address. So, you know, if you guys have anything, any thoughts, or you have any experience with Evermoment, let me know. Are they as good as I've heard? Should I be looking elsewhere? Are there any other companies that are just as good? You know, let me know. And I think that was it for my Jasmine Beckett Griffith. So that whole project is something I have going on because that was also one of my goals for this year was that I wanted to order a custom. I actually want to order more than one. I have several pieces of artwork that I would love to have made into diamond paintings. I probably should, you know. I want to order this one custom. It just kind of fell in my lap that it happened to be Jasmine Beckett Griffith, but I do want to order a custom so I can kind of see how the process goes so that in the future, you know, if I want to find some stuff that is public domain, like some more mukas and things like that, I'm familiar with the process so that I can get it going. You know, I guess I should look. I didn't even really look, I don't think, to see if any of the like premier diamond painting companies do customs. I don't think Diamond Art Club does, but does like Dreamer Designs do customs or I don't know, Craftably or any of these others? And then part of me is like, well, maybe I should just wait because now that she's released all of these into the public domain, maybe, you know, some diamond painting company is going to pick up the whole catalog and then just release them all as diamond paintings. I mean, if I was them, that would certainly be on my mind. So, and also I was curious about why she suddenly decided to release all of these into the public domain. But I mean, you know, again, it's her art, her prerogative. She can do what she wants with it. So, just curious. Anyway, the other thing, or the last thing on my list, at least anyway, as I ramble, was stickers and storage. I wanted to talk about that. So, storage. I told you guys I was trying to find a different solution for my storage. I have, I think, kind of settled on what I'm going to do. So However, it's like a domino thing, you know, and before I can set up the storage the way I needed to find what I was going to be using. Was I going to be using boxes, plastic totes? How was I going to store them? And then once I figured that out, then what size do I need everything to be to make it work, you know, neatly in my container? Which means I need to, at least it has worked out, that I need to buy a different size of bag. So I need to get that done. And I am going to be splitting up my squares and rounds into different containers, even going forward. Just because, you know, after thinking about it, it really does make the most sense. Again, you know, when I'm dekitting around, I'm not going to need access to the squares and vice versa. And there's never going to be a time, at least that I can foresee, where I'm going to need both of them at the same time. You know, even if I'm using spares for a project, I'm going to be using all round or all square. So I have 2 containers, and I need to, like I said, order a different size bag because the size bags that I'm using right now do not work. I mean, they would, but they're too small to work out kind of evenly, and I'll end up with a lot of wasted space in my container, which I don't want. So I will just go ahead and move to a larger size container. I've got to make new divider cards anyway, because I need them to be bigger to match my bigger size container and my bigger size bags, which means I also need to make new stickers. Now, I didn't intend to make new stickers initially, but in another one of those domino things, I'm having issues with my cutting software. So you guys know I have a Silhouette cutting machine, and for whatever reason, I have my DMC divider card labels that I made, and I couldn't get the file to open. It's actually in about 8 different pages because of the number of DMCs, the number of DMC numbers, and the way that I needed to lay them out because I was using my cutting machine to cut them, so I didn't have to cut them by hand. And none of them will open. When I open my software, it just sits there, and it'll say it's opening, and then it just sits there. And so I got frustrated and just said, okay, you know, the files must be corrupted. I will, you know, I'm going to be redoing these. I'm going to need a bigger size. So I've got to change the sizes, and I'm going to change the layout and kind of what they look like and all that stuff. So I'll just do all of that anyway. So, okay. Then fast forward to today, and I was working on some personal projects. So I have told you guys before, I'm a planner. I keep a planner, a day planner. I have one of those just for kind of daily appointments and things that I keep track of stuff throughout the month. And then I have a budget one that I use to keep track of our spending. And I was setting everything up for next month. And I have stickers that I use that I created for myself. So I have like little, you know, payday stickers and bill due stickers and, you know, some other things that I have created that I realized I was getting low on. And I was like, well, I'll just go in and print them out. You know, I've already got the files made up. I, at one time, was going to sell them on Etsy. And so I have all the files made up with all the templates and everything. And at this point, I just needed to go in and print them out so that I could, you know, the machine does all the work for me. It cuts them and it's all ready to go. Well, once again, it won't open the file. It won't open any of my budget files. And I'm like, okay, now I'm starting to get annoyed because I don't want to have to recreate those. I spent quite a bit of time making them in the first place. And so I went out and did a bunch of searching, and turns out there are a lot of people having the same issue as me. It'll tell me it opens the file and then it just sits there. And there were several different fixes that I found. I tried all of them. None of them worked. So I don't know if it's an issue with the fact that I'm now on a Mac instead of a PC. It shouldn't matter. My other files that I transferred over from my PC to Mac work just fine. It just seems to be certain ones. And there doesn't seem to be any rhyme or reason to which ones will or will not open. So that was super frustrating, and I was about ready to kick punt both the computer and the machine out the door. I still don't know what I'm going to do because I don't want to have to recreate them. So I'm going to roll back the software to a previous version and see if that fixes it. But then I had to do a whole bunch of research, which I haven't done yet. I still need to do because I don't know if you have to register your machine. I have upgraded to the business version of the software. So I have like a license key, and I don't know if I have to deregister the software before I install the old version. I shouldn't have to, but at this point, good gravy. Everything seems to be a saga when I try to do stuff like this. I was actually telling my husband, we were seriously considering when we move, I'm not taking the machine with us. We're going to have a bunch of things either in a U-Haul or in like a moving van. And, appliances, machinery like that just never travels well. And so for me, it's already like 5 years old. I'm like, I'd rather just leave it here, give it to my daughter, let her use it. Give it to my sister, let her use it, whatever, sell it on Facebook Marketplace to somebody that will get some use out of it. There's no point in us taking it with us because I think it won't survive the journey. It just won't work as well once we get up there. So we were discussing whether we wanted to buy another Silhouette or whether we wanted to buy a Cricut, which is kind of the other best known cutting machine. I know there's other ones out there too, but those are kind of the two kind of big ones. And the Silhouette is cheaper, which is initially why we got it. And of course, now I'm familiar with the software. So I'm like, do I really want to buy a Cricut and learn all the new software and all that? But man, if Cricut has less problems, whoo. And so, yeah, I guess I'll update you guys later on. I decided after 2 hours of messing with things today that I wasn't going to try and roll back to a previous version today because I had hit my kind of frustration limit and I had other things I needed to do. So if anybody has had those problems, if you have a Silhouette and a Mac and you know what the issue is, please let me know because I would love to be able to access my files and yeah, not have to recreate everything from scratch would be annoying. So, because the thing is, if I could open it up to see my dimensions and stuff, then I'd be okay with it because I could just kind of copy and paste things. But of course, I can't do that without opening the file, which means I don't have any of those. And of course, I created them so long ago that I didn't, commit any of that to paper because why would I? I have a file for it. So yeah, that whole process was just kind of frustrating as heck today. So I'm not, I'm getting low on my stickers. I'm not out yet. So wasn't anything I had to do today. But yeah, that's going to be another frustration in the future. And, it seems like it's always something. I think I have everything, all the kinks worked out, and then I go to do something. And it's just really odd that it seems to be only certain files. Like certain files work fine. And there'll be, files created in the same time frame, and I'll be able to open one and not the other. So I don't know what the deal is. And, I'm kind of leaning towards there's something screwy with the software that I don't understand. Because, of course, looking on all the forums, basically Mac, Apple is pointing fingers at Silhouette. And when you look at Silhouette, Silhouette is pointing fingers at Apple. Now, I don't really care whose fault it is. I just want it to work. So that was kind of my sticker saga. The other thing that I wanted to ask you guys was, I've had several of you ask me about various stickers, and I would like to make some changes. Like once I finally get through the process of making my divider stickers for my divider cards, I will share those with you guys. I just haven't got there yet. Somebody was also asking me about stickers that you can use, like when you open your diamond paintings, a lot of you will, unbox them and then like put them somewhere so that the canvases can flatten out. So your drills are in one place and your canvas is in another, in a way to kind of note which drills go with what. And I have some that I've sent out previously in Random Acts of Kindness, but I didn't have any that I was going to share, and I was actually going to revamp them. I don't personally, unbox much before I'm going to diamond paint it. So I don't have lots of canvases laying around without their drills. Most of my stuff is in the box that it's in until I unbox it to work on it. So I thought I would take the opportunity to kind of ask you guys, if you were going to have a sticker like that, where basically one sticker goes on your canvas and another sticker goes on, however you're storing your drills, so that you know which drills go with what canvas, what do you want on there? I mean, I'm assuming you want the kit name, and I'm assuming you probably want, well, like, do you want the kit name and the name of the diamond painting company? Does the name of the diamond painting company matter? Is it just the name of the kit? Do you want it to say on there, is it a round? Is it a square? Is it a partial? Is it a special? Because I don't do mine that way. Like, I don't even know what kind of information you guys might want on there. So this is your opportunity to kind of have some input before I make some of the stickers. And then, you guys can let me know what you think goes on it, or what should go on it, I guess. Because like I said, I don't generally open my diamond paintings until I'm ready to work on them. So I don't have a lot of, canvases laying around that don't have the drills with them, because in my house, everything is still in the box. So they're not separated. Okay. Why can I not find number 3? There it is. So, again, you guys have this opportunity to kind of let me know what you would like on these stickers, if you would find them useful, and what would be on them that would be the most useful to you. And then I will design something, and then I will put it out there for you guys to have. And yeah, I think I'll leave it at that. So, leave me a comment down below about what you think should or should not be on, I don't know what you call those, kit stickers, diamond stickers, I guess kit stickers, because you're trying to keep, your canvas with your diamonds from that kit. So whatever, I don't know what to call them. Okay, I think I'm going to call that good for today's WIP and Chat, guys, because I need to, quite frankly, quit talking so that I can edit this video and get it posted in time for it to go out, so that you guys can see it. So I did make some really good progress, and I'm actually really liking how this is turning out so far. So that's awesome. And it seems to be going faster than I had anticipated it would. So that's also awesome, because I need to get this kit done as quickly as possible so I can move on to other things. So now, that being said, I am going to enjoy it while I'm doing it. I think sometimes we get so caught up in doing, events and canvases that you're like, oh, I got to get this one done so I can move on to the next thing. and we miss out on enjoying some other things. You guys, once again, I do not know what is the deal with my stomach. I'm fine. It doesn't make any noise. And then I walk in here to film and suddenly it is all growly. What the heck? If you can hear that, I am so, so sorry. I tried to edit it out so that you can't, but man, gremlins today or something. So anyway, take time, enjoy your diamond painting. That's all I'm trying to say, folks. So let me zoom out a little bit there so you can see some more of that. You can see how much progress I've made. And yeah, thank you guys so much for hanging around through all of my rambling. If you have any comments, please leave them below. I do read all of the comments. I do try to respond to all comments. YouTube does still eat them occasionally, so if I don't respond to you, please don't take it personally. It probably almost certainly means that YouTube ate your comment, so I can't respond to it. Okay, so that's it for me, guys. Thanks for joining me for this WIP and chat. I hope if you were working along, you made some progress on your work too. Have a good week, guys. And as always, before you leave, don't forget to do all the things. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. That helps me out a lot. Hit that subscribe button. That helps me out even more. And hit that bell notification icon so that you can be informed of future uploads, especially since there may be a giveaway in the near future. Hint, hint. So share me with your friends and let's be an awesome diamond painting channel. Thanks for watching, guys.